Here we go. Ready, aim. As I hit the wrong button. Ah!
Hey, y'all.
Evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you have your water with you or something to drink at least. Preferably not soda or coffee because it may make you go. Dee. I have my aha sparkling water, orange and grapefruit. No sugar. I know that there's quite a few people that are planning to get here, so we're going to just take a few. Um, I'm going to do a silent invocation to call in everybody to be here. But those of you that are here, pistachio, mean. Um, hey, Donnie. Welcome, sweetheart.
Hey, Donnie. Hey, Amanda.
Amanda, Padme, Pam. Blessings and much love, everybody.
They're starting to stroll in now.
So while you're sitting here and we're waiting for the rest to show up, please just kind of get comfy, relax. Take a nice, good breath in and then just sigh and let it all go. Do that about 3 times. We're going to ramp up the calm factor. And yawning is not allowed. And don't worry, when we get into the meditation, I'll mute Sling. At least you don't snore. Bless you, Walter. We're going to work on the base chakra. Don't mind me. I have 2 gnats that have not left, and there's nothing here. And I don't get it. And I showered. So it's not me. But anyway, we are going to relax and chill and cover a lot of stuff. So be prepared. The good thing is this is recorded, and so you can always come back and say, what was that she said? And I am going to close the comment side for myself so that I am not distracted and leave Secretary Sling, right-hand man, right fielder, to take care of it and poke me if I need to do something. So let's see. I'm going to private chat there. I know Angela was going to come. Paula wanted to come. I believe Terry was going to come, and Occam's Razor was going to come, and I don't remember who else. Oh, Book might be.
Well, if Ronald's too, I think.
Who?
Is it Ronald?
Roland?
Roland. I know there's an R in there.
I don't think he's into the metaphysical stuff. He's a psychologist or
psychiatrist.
Yeah, something like that. And I deal with the mind in a different way. So, it'd be great if he came because he's a hoot. I love Rolly. He is so much fun. But,
he's pretty smart too.
Everybody.
Well, he's knowledgeable.
He's very, very intelligent, very knowledgeable. He's a beautiful soul. I love his energy. He's funny.
I can
and
talk to him.
he's a really good guy. But again, talking about metaphysical stuff, I understand that it's hard for some people to take because they either perceive it as woo woo, and I've known many people who were like, this is woo woo and I don't want to talk about it, but then something comes along that happens and they're like, oh, tell me more. Because the matter is, it exists. It has
Yep.
existed for all time.
They're just blind to it for right now. But once something happens and their eyes are open, then they're like, "Ooh, can you?"
I heard a dog bark.
Yeah. Okay.
So, some of the things that we're going to cover tonight, we are going to deal primarily on the root chakra. I'm going to explain energy.
Hi,
I'm going
Crystal.
to explain um, prana, what prana is, and then getting into the colors because the chakras have color to them. And one of the things to understand when you hear somebody talk about, well, there's 7 chakras, it's a correct statement, but it is an incomplete statement because there are more than 7. And what has happened is that, in a nutshell, it was dumbed down for Westerners. But when it was brought to the United States, we have 7 days of the week. We have um, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 notes in a musical scale. So, 7 seems to be like the easiest thing for everybody to focus and comprehend on. So they've combined and different chakras together, left out a whole slew, but it was only to make it easier for people to understand, to grasp. And then when you get into higher education, we'll call it, then you learn that there's more than 7. So to say that there's 11 chakras, that again is a correct statement, but it's also incomplete because there's actually more. Um, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. We're sticking with the 11, 12 if we count the soul star. Um, but I will explain about our cosmology, or our energetic anatomy. But as soon as I get the go from Sling that everybody's here, I'm just going to take a moment for myself to do, as I said, a silent invocation. And then I still have not asked because today was kind of one of those days. And driving in a car that doesn't run very well in 96-degree heat that there's no AC, I'm still cooling down. But I'm going to be quiet. And Sling, you got the floor.
Hmm. Crystal answer back. Oh, yeah. Sounds like you had a fun day. What training are you talking about? Oh, not that down. Hey, Digo.
Sorry about that. I got lost.
You're all right. I left breadcrumbs for you.
Yeah, I looked and I couldn't remember where the button was for unmuting myself. That was really good.
Oh, yeah.
That was a quick down deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it was. Um,
Okay. Hello, everybody. Um,
well, so far we got Padme, we got Pam, we got Amanda, we got Donnie, we have Crystal, and we have. I
Daigo,
hope that Digo. I said Digo. Hey, I'm Southern. It's hard for me to. I got screwed a lot of names up.
how are you,
Um.
Daigo, sweet soul? Bless you.
Oh man, I hate this time of the year. Oh,
You type, how are you doing? And I hear in my head, how you doing? It's like, really?
it's how
I
you
know, but I don't do that. I don't do Sylvester Stallone.
is that how you doing?
Alrighty. Well,
We got. I think we got about. What is it? 6 in here. I think by
7.
now. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, thanks to Ruth. Okay, so energy. Everybody's familiar with Einstein, right?
Mhm.
And he's the one who gave us E equals MC squared. In his search for disproving any kind of source, he found source energy. And when you think about electricity, not electricity, but energy, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It exists in all times. Okay, baby. It exists in all times, in all places, in all dimensions. Kind of sounds like people's description of creator, of God, of source energy. Omnipresent, everywhere and everything. And we can tap into this energy. From last night, wasn't it, that we discussed how uh, the cells of the body produce 1.4 volts of electricity, and 50 trillion cells comes out to 70 trillion volts. So that definitely means we're pretty electric, or pretty magnetic. Depends. Color are frequencies. If you look at charts, and they'll tell you, infrared is up here. Hello, beautiful.
She says hi.
Didn't say that. I said hello, beautiful.
Oh,
Get
she
it
said
right.
yes, ma'am. I'm. Sorry. She said hello, beautiful.
Anyway, but color. So in this that we're going to do tonight, our energetic field has color in it. It's not just white, and it's never really just one color, because we have thoughts and emotions going on, and we might have an injury or an illness rearing its ugly head, or had a really crummy day. Hey, Power Panther. I'm going to call you 88 because 88 is better than calling you PP. I'm sorry. Because it's a long.
I can't. I can't.
I mean, you're Sling, not Sling Blade. I'm Soul, not Soulstitch. 1111.
Yeah, but are you gonna call me 69 now? That's the two numbers that they're mine. I
But
love you.
I knew you before you put that on there, so no.
Keep going.
Anyway, no distractions. So, color exists. All of the chakras have colors. Now, again, as I was saying, the original, not the original, but the Americanized version of the 7 chakras, the root chakra is red. And that's partially correct. I know, I can give looks. I get it. Thank you. But I'd still rather call you 88 versus PP. Or I'll call you Panther. There we go, because I love the Pink Panther. Anyway, so we have prana. Now, prana simply means life force.
Mhm.
You have, in martial arts, we hear them bringing up chi or ki. You have energetic healing, the Japanese Reiki. And so there's the ki from the Reiki. In Hebrew, it's ruach. In Polynesian, it's mana. Chinese is chi. So this notion, I am going to beat that gnat. Sooner or later, it's going to get right there, and I'm going to get it. So you have this ideal of this energy field. We're going to play with it tonight to get an idea about energy. I want you to understand one thing, though. In the exercises, if you aren't able to feel something, don't sweat it. If you're, so we're going to work on feeling the energy with our hands. There's a couple different ways of doing that. And, but we're going to take our hands, because of screen size, we're going to take our hands and feel a ball of energy between our hands. We may come in like this and just feel like that's as far as I want to go, but I'm not really feeling anything. It'll be so subtle an energy that, maybe it kind of feels like they just don't want to come together, like a magnet repels, or maybe they tingle. Maybe there is this, and don't laugh, but this is the way it's coming in, is barely audible, meaning hearing, but it's obviously not being heard. Buzz, tingle, sensation just in your hand. It's like it's just barely there. It feels different than your shoulder. It's like, let your mind go to your shoulder, touch your shoulder. Skin just kind of feels like there's air pressed against it, and that's that. But when you do your hands, okay, it feels a little different, a little thicker maybe, or like something's here. You have energy centers in the palms of both hands, and so by pressing that's a way to activate it. Doing exercises where you flick your fingers for real rapidly, about a minute, and you just do that. Do it out to the side, do it down, whatever's comfortable. You'll notice that there's now more of a buzz in your hands. Rubbing your hands together really good, giving it a clap, and then it's like, okay, now you've got the tingles going on, but now when you pull your hands together, it's like, oh, now they're more noticeable, a space, a thing. And just imagine, I got a ball of energy here, and it's going to be white. So everybody make it white. We'll get into colors, because the first chakra that we're going to deal with, being the base chakra, I will address the Americanized and then the pranic healing one. So if you're ready, I'm going to ask everybody to give your hands a good rub together. Get up some friction. You can clap your hand together if you want. You don't have to. I'm going after a gnat. And then just pull your hands apart. You can pull them all the way out to the side. Obviously, you can't see how far that is. And then slowly bring them in closer and closer until maybe you're here. Okay, there's a sponginess, a noticeable. Can't even be that big. Whatever you feel. But play with that for a moment. be aware of it. And again, don't sweat it if you aren't noticing it, because you could be overthinking it.
I've been playing with the ball for a while now. Sorry.
I know you have. If you can imagine color, see it as a nice white, soft white, glowing ball. What's cool with energy balls, is that you can program them. That's more of an advanced thing, but you can program it with the thought of love, just holding love in your heart, and then imagine that you're putting that, so that love from your heart goes down your arms, out your hand, and into that ball. And you can put it back onto yourself. You can put it on your head, kind of like pull it down like you're pulling a glove, or put it on somebody else. I used to do that for my husband years ago when he was gigging and I was going with him to his performances, and he'd be getting tired. I'd create a ball of energy and I'd dump that on him, and then he'd go and perform some more without being any less for wear, worse for wear. Yeah, that's the word. Less worse for wear. Whatever. Worse for wear. Anyway, he wasn't tired anymore. So give me feedback on what you experience. Is it cool? Is it hot? Is it tingly? Is it just feel kind of like something bouncing, like there's a balloon that you just can't quite, maybe a little bit of a tension? Do you feel it all more that your hand itself is just tingling? Not so much that you're noticing something preventing that, and so when your hands get together, they repel one another, because that's also a thing with the energy. You also have chakras at the tips of your fingers, mini energy centers. You have energy centers in your nostrils. There's an energy center under your armpit. Yeah, there's energy centers in lots of places. And technically, there's an energy center at every joint. So the one that you have for your shoulders is in the armpit.
That stinks.
Yep. That's why, you remember when I was showing you about the cleansing, when we get to the under the arms, it's tickle, tickle, tickle?
Well, I'm not ticklish there, but when you do it, I'm
giggle.
ticklish. Yes,
Yeah.
because it tickles, but I'm not ticklish there.
Neener, neener, neener.
I know.
So, what do you experience, Sling?
Oh, I got the easy. I got the resistance. I can take it. Bring it out. When I bring it out, I can feel the expansion of it. But then I can take it and crush it back down to where it's real small and real tight, and you can feel the the firmness of it. It just doesn't want to go down, but so far. But yeah, I can take it. I'll swirl. You can swirl all in your hands. Just sit there and you can just take it and go like this, and you can just sit there and roll that ball all around in between your two hands.
Yeah, kind of.
Mold it, make it a perfect ball.
Warm tingles. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Resistance. Good one, Crystal. Panther.
All right, my hands getting tired doing
Hoops. You just did. It's like Amanda. I see hoops and I don't. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I have a break momentarily.
Hey, Roland.
Hey, Roland. We were talking about you.
I had that feeling he was coming tonight.
Yeah, and I was the naysayer. It's like, oh no, I'm not for him. I'm glad you did.
I actually listened.
What, me listen?
Never
I'm gonna get hit. I already feel it. Donnie, where are you at? Daigo, where are you at? Daigo, did you come back?
How you doing, bud?
Everything okay, Roland? So he's fun up on the panel.
All right. I had to quit playing with the ball. My hands were getting
That's all right.
tired doing that over and over and over and over.
Yes, Crystal, it does.
Yeah.
Awesome, Roland. You'll have to tell us what things you've got in the works. Okay, so exercise 1 down. You're familiar, I'm sure, with the study of color. If you look up in business, colors mean different things. Depending on who you talk to, though, and what it's regarding, like selling a house, for years it was like yellow is a really good seller for houses. Hey there, Donnie. Did you do the exercise? I heard that. But so in marketing, colors have a reference. Purple is considered like royalty and somebody who is spiritual.
Purple's also passionate too.
Not
Passion.
purple.
Purple
Pink.
passion.
No. Pinks are loving, caring, soft. Reds, are passionate. They can be angry, but think about how iconic, the marketing is with Coca-Cola. It's red and white. And you see that, you automatically know it gets embedded in our minds the minute you see that. Green can mean money. Depending on the green, some people think it means envy and other stuff. So depending on who you're talking to, like Crystal, so you like pink. For me, pink is irritating because I dislike pink.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's personal journey with color is different. And I'm sure that my issues with pink stems from my issues with my mother. Ha. No comments, Roland. Green is considered healing, but again, it's viewed as money in marketing. So it just depends. That's why when people are branding, they have to really be aware of their color scheme. And the fewer colors, the better. 3 is typically like a max on it. Think of Nike. Nike's symbol, that for people who are not in the know, that check mark is like, what's that about? But yet when you see it, it's Nike. But in the prana, when we're dealing with just straight energy, the colors don't vary, other than if you look at a color wheel, you've got the more vibrant, darker, richer, full color out at the outside of the wheel. And then as you add white, or maybe you add black, doing those two alters the color. It also alters the temperature of the color and the emotion that we get. I can kind of tolerate a soft pink, like a rose pink. I actually like, but that's more vibrant with the red kind of in there. Bubblegum pink, oh my goodness, or Pepto-Bismol pink, I run for the hills and I begin to twitch.
That bright pink.
Neon pink, oh no, ooh, sickening. It's not for me. I love purples. I love golds. Dear friend of mine, she's another one of my sisters. She hates yellow. And it's like, and it goes contrary to what, yellow is supposed to be bright and uplifting and happy, and especially lemon yellow and butter yellow. Yeah, no Pepto. Thank you. I used to eat that as like a kid, candy. My parents got that, and I get the tablets, and I'd go and find it and eat it.
Now, I like orange. I love orange. I don't like the dark burnt orange. I like the brighter oranges.
Like the fruit.
Yeah, like the fruit, or I even bright neon orange. I like the brighter oranges than I do that burnt orange.
The what's that?
You know,
Any of
it's
the
got
neon
that real
colors.
red in it. It's a
Yeah,
almost like a rust color, you would say.
yeah. I like for the neon. I don't care for neon colors. Period. Blue is about the only one I couldn't tolerate, or a neon purple. But the neon orange is
Crystal,
just,
you nailed it on the head. UT orange, University of Tennessee. Oh, Texas orange is burnt orange, but Tennessee orange is what I really like.
yeah. The colors just they play a role in our moods, and when we're doing energy work, it plays a role in what we're doing. So for people who aren't sure what color to use when they're actually doing it, I taught everybody, I taught most people how to do the scrape and stuff, the sweep and the comb with your bowl of salt water. I got my bowl over here. Actually, I got Sling's bowl over here. I used it. I had
Breaking
to
it.
break, yep, I had to break it in. Um, but anyway, enough silliness aside. Using color when we're trying to uplift our moods or working on our house, sweeping the house. We talked about that last week, wasn't it?
Uh,
If you were there.
yes, yes. I think so. Yes.
And
That.
got you, Amanda. So doing the various colors plays a role in how quickly somebody's going to heal or what type of healing energy. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself in the topic, but I just wanted to share a little bit on the colors, that they are important. And let me see, I got to open up my files. I have some images to share. Just got to figure out where I saved them. Artwork 2021.
The oceans, yeah, ocean. To me, I think the ocean serves two purposes. It is peaceful, it's calming, and all. But when you get in the when you get in the water, it washes everything off of you too. All the negatives washed off, and you just feel so much better when you after you leave the ocean. I gotta find out.
What you need, kiddo? Walter.
None.
Okay, so that's not it. Where did I put that? Let's try in there. There it is. Okay. So, since we are talking about the basic chakra, now when Master Chokwak Sui was devising the pranic healing system, and he did this over 30 years ago, he had working with him several of the world's top spiritual leaders, along with a gentleman who's considered to be like the world's most accurate clairvoyant, who, from reading different ancient texts in the Buddhist traditions in India, and I forgot where else he had traveled. I think Tibet. Spoke of the other chakras that were in the body, and so the gentleman was only accustomed to the Western 7 chakras, and so it was, you just got to look and go deeper to see where they are, to find, to actually see them. And so he when he finally got into that space, he shared his vision, explaining the colors, the shapes, etc., to an artist who drew them. So this is a rendition of what he saw. Um, go with the window. Go right there. There we go. Can you see that? Flame?
Ooh, yes, it's like a sun. Well,
Okay, so,
actually, no, it's more like a flower.
well, all the chakras have what they call petals. If you think of a fan, right? So an airplane rudder has the two fins, or whatever they call them, blades. Not rudder, excuse me, propeller. You can have an small little outboard motor that has three. You can get a bigger one that has four. So it just depends on which one. So the basic chakra that most people consider the root chakra. Um, in the Americanized or Westernized version, the root chakra is a solid red. So that red here, where you can see my mouse, I think you can see my mouse. Um, that's about the dark red that they consider the root chakra. Whereas the gentleman saw that there was two rows, and there was white and some yellow, gold, and orange all in the root chakra. It was not just one color. And when he slowed down the turning of the petals, because these petals or propellers, we'll call them that for argument's sake, just to get that image in your mind, they spin around and they move both clockwise and counterclockwise depending on whether they are inhaling or exhaling. So as we talked in the beginning about chi, prana, ki, ruach, mana, all these different terms for life force energy or source energy. But this energy, I'm being whined at. And I'm not even having a glass of wine. Really, Walter? Shame on you. Yeah, I went there. But so he saw them kind of like blades. And when somebody was not in good health, the blades were short. If they didn't have enough energy, if they were depleted, if they were having a lot of mental types of aspects with depression and not worthy, I'm not good enough, I can't make it, those kind of things do resonate here. They would notice that they'd be smaller. And then as they went in and did the cleaning, which I'm sitting here moving my hands around, you can't see what the heck I'm doing. Or maybe you can, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see you, so that's my problem. But so while they're doing like cleansing and pulling out the stagnant energy, remember that one conversation a week ago, I think it was. I'm looking over my cord and it's not here. I think I probably was a good kid and finally put it away. Maybe must have, because it's not sitting here. So it's like on the propeller, if of a outboard going into weeds when you're fishing, and the weeds get wrapped around the propeller. So energy can do that on your chakras, on the petals of the chakra. And so when you're going in and cleaning them off and throwing it into your salt bowl, you make it so that they are able to move freely, not have a hitch in their giddy up, and it helps them to also expand as they get more energy. The petals lengthen, and the more that they spin, both on expelling, that's the exhale, and then taking in, that's the inhale, of the energies, they become healthy, they get longer, elongate, and they function the way they're supposed to by, like I said, inhaling, bringing in energy, and when it's full, or there's garbage there, exhaling it and getting rid of it. So it's kind of a self-cleaning system, but just like even a self-cleaning oven, you've got to go in there and push the button, and sometimes you got to give it help and heat it up and spray it, and and so it's not so much self-cleaning anymore. Does that make sense? Trying to come up with everyday analogies.
Makes sense. It gets gunked up with crap.
No worries. So let's see. I'm gonna cheat here and use my book.
Yeah,
to
kind
talk
of
about.
what you were talking about kind of reminds me of a pinwheel almost.
Very much, and if you've ever seen some pinwheels have like the 5. Hey, Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
Buddha,
Buddha.
beautiful. Some have 5 and some only have 4. But it spins depending on which way you're turning it to blow on it. This, obviously we're not turning the chakras around, but hey, we do have front and back chakras. They do different things, have different functions. Tonight on the basic, we'll cover what it does. But so let's go into some of the color here on the different pranas. So you get an idea, the color, it's the same thing if you're wearing color. It happens to enhance your energy. If you've ever noticed you're feeling down and you just wear black, or if you want to feel up, you go put on something bright. Wearing something of color that helps to uplift you is very good. It works. So red prana. What are the properties of red prana? Don't be sorry, Panther. You're so sweet. So red prana is strengthening. It's warm. It's expansive. It's also dilating. Sometimes the darker reds, it kind of gets a little smaller. Think of, when your pupils dilate, they open up. So you're going the wrong way, dilating. That was really good. We want to go that way for dilating. I had brain fart. Let's see. It improves circulation. So adding red will improve circulation. Oh, we have a new thing. We now know Crystal's secret. She's punk. She's going to beat me for that. It's very constructive. Red energy is very constructive for rapid tissue and cellular repair. It also sustains the visible physical body, so it's something that's good for our physical nature. It's stimulating and it's activating. So that's, and this is advanced stuff. I'm just sharing. Don't go out and start trying to play with fire sling. But the red color also is good for strengthening and propping up, we'll say, weak organs or sluggish parts of the body. All right, Crystal. See, I guess we nailed that then. Let's see. It's dilating the blood vessels and the air tubes. It also helps in improving circulation. It's good for tackling allergy, internal and external wounds, general tiredness or weakening, paralysis, reviving unconscious patients, and reviving or prolonging the life of dying patients. Disregard, don't even play there. Okay, so typically you diffuse the color a little bit, like red with some white, to soften it, to make the energy gentler. It would be kind of like, some of those heat lamps that are so bright orange red, and when you get there, they like blast you out. I don't know if you've ever used anything like that for camping. Sling. They usually are like
Yeah.
they glow. They put off a lot of heat
Yeah.
and really intense. And if you've done welding, you know the darker red. So we want to use the lighter colors, the light colors. Pam was here. Use the lighter colors when we're doing any kind of work. The reason why I'm addressing the colors is because the base chakra or basic chakra contains red, the white, and the orange. Kind of yellow in there too. So, and those are the orange colors, the orange prana, that's for decongestant. So helping to eliminate things, expelling things if you got like allergies and it's running down your throat. And so trying to sleep at night and you just cough all night, it's a great way to just make yourself a ball of light orange and put it on your chest and help yourself to cough up. What is that? Hairballs. There we go. So anyway, that's just a brief introduction. There are so many, things to cover on what to do with the prana, with the different colors of it. So we are going now straight into the 11 major chakras. Oh yeah, I was going to show you pictures. Oh, because all right, I'm going to share this one. Don't know why I am feeling slightly stuckified. All right, share screen.
That's not for me.
No, it's not. Okay, so this here is the 7 chakra system. And as you can see, they're showing the red 4 petals for the excuse me, for the base chakra or the Muladhara. The sacral chakra, they call it, that's Svadhisthana. Try to say that fast. Svadhisthana is your sacral chakra. It's orange. And I believe that one is 8 petals. 3, 7, 8, yes. Then from there, the Manipura is the solar plexus. Again, this is the 7 chakra system of Western tradition. Then from the solar plexus, we go up to the heart. The heart is not green, but Anahata. Then you got the Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra, and that's going to be about where the Adam's apple is. Now, the Ajna is not the third eye. The Ajna is right between the eyebrows. But in the seven chakra system, they've combined the forehead with the Ajna. So the pineal gland and the Ajna together. And then we go to the Sahasrara. I can never say this one. I have never, all these years. So you can figure it out. Sahasrara. Thank you. It's the crown. It's the violet. There's 936 petals. But in the center, where this one doesn't show it, the heart chakra actually resides in that. That's why if you ever watch Master Ko, it's the twin heart meditation, because the heart chakra, its appearance, the way it's laid out, all the colors and petals, sits right in the center of the crown chakra. So it looks like 2 chakras, but it's the one. Anyway, so there you go. That is the Western. And then let me see. Did I think I did? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not. Oh, this is it. So this is a slow down version of the colors of the chakras, from the basic, the sex. The Meng Mane is at the waist, about level with the kidneys on the back. That is a no-go, never touch, don't play with. Your solar plexus, is the soft area just below the rib cage, right in between, just below the breastbone. Your spleen, you have a front and back spleen chakra. Then you've got the navel chakra, which is kind of what they did. They combined the sex chakra with the navel chakra. Wally, shush. So from the solar plexus, we go to the heart. You have a front and back heart. They are two different organs, if you want to call it an organ, two different chakras. They do two different functions, but they also work together. The back heart contains all of our stored, I'm going to call them heartbreaks. It's like the old stuff gets pushed to the back heart. And when we're doing our pranic healing, that's where we actually work it. We clean the front, but we clean the back and energize the back. So this, even though it's not really a good depiction, because the crown chakra here you can see the yellow, and you've got the yellow gold. It's just missing the red that should be right there. I think I heard a phone. I don't know. Then you have your throat chakra, the ajna. The ajna, again, is that spot right between the eyebrows, right at the top of the bridge of the nose. And then the crown chakra, the forehead chakra, is about a finger to 2 fingers just below your hairline. Everybody's a little bit different because some people have receding hairlines, but you can kind of tell it's like right about here. And then you have your crown chakra, and then one that we're not going to cover, at least maybe, is called the soul or star chakra, which is way up about a foot above the head. Any questions? Comments, thoughts, feelings?
Now you said the one that is a no touch, leave it alone. Is the which one was it now?
It's the one at your waist at the back, the Ming Men. Main, like chow mein, Ming Men. Well, if you think about it, Crystal, what they did was they combined the sex chakra with the root chakra or the base chakra and called it the root.
So I would actually give you, yeah. They did a lot of combos.
No, Roland, it's not. Okay, one at a time. I don't know if you would find science or not. I will give you information and documentation on it. If you look at, let's see, acupuncture and acupressure, where you're pushing things. Hey, Terry, it's okay. They have found that the meridians are actually in the body. They've taken pictures by using, I don't remember if it was a dye that they injected where they were putting the needles in, but traditional Chinese medicine has been using the chakras for thousands of years. Same with other belief systems. So in Ayurveda, which is over 3,000 years old, they use the chakra system. This is metaphysical. Okay, so Panther, what I was explaining on the Western tradition, those were the names of the base, the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. that was the Western tradition. I was only bringing that in as to show difference between that and what we're going to cover tonight on the root chakra with the pranic. We'll call it Eastern tradition. Okay. This is based on the training I've had in the pranic healing and the 11 chakra system. I've used for years other chakras because you have them in different places in the body. There's a high heart and a low heart. The high heart actually is the thymus. There's a low throat, which is here at the base of your throat. And then the Adam's apple area is where the throat chakra actually is. People who are detailed oriented, artists, typically musicians, their throat chakra is usually bigger. So don't be confused about the red, orange, yellow areas. That was just giving like I said, giving an explanation of Western versus what I'm working with. And so what I'm sharing is the studying on the pranic system, on the pranic healing from Esther Chahawksby that has been around for over 30 years in just his pranic healing. It's longer than that, but I know that he spent 30 years of his life researching, studying, speaking with educated people in the Hebraic, the Hindu, Tibetan. So he's went out to different holy men, holy people, and spoke with them and had gone through and extensively studied everything, tested on himself. Sling remembers I shared pictures with him at 32 years of age. He looked like he was 60 years old. And when he died at 54, he looked like he was about 80 years old, because what he had done was experimented on himself so that he knew what was safe and what wasn't, and wrote down these protocols that anybody could do, no matter what their basis was. Now, he was a engineer, and his family was a wealthy businessman in the Philippines. And so no idea what possessed him or what called him to this spiritual path, but this is all a very spiritual based process. It's not, it can be viewed by some people as woo-woo if they want. But when you witness firsthand things like, like somebody who broke their hip, and if you've ever looked at the pelvis, there's two foramens or foramen, however you pronounce it, on either side of the hip, and it broke so that they did not match, and they had to take sandbags to pull the hip back into place so that they could fuse the pelvis back in and get everything lined up. And it was supposed to take 5 months for them to walk, be able to walk again. And through having the pranic healing done 3 times a week, they were up and actually able to walk within 2.5 weeks. Yes. And we say basic or base chakra, but Western tradition lumped the sex chakra and the basic chakra together as the root. And then you have the sacral chakra, or the sacral chakra is what they kind of like inserted in there. So I didn't mean to confuse you with all of that stuff. I don't play with the Western version. And so my mind is kind of like, no, wait a minute. The colors are different. While in the pranic studies, with having the clairvoyant gentleman, which I think his name was Nathan, I will look it up for you, he could see the different chakras. And so through an artist rendition, these are where we get these plates, these colors. Does that help it anymore? I feel like I'm being tongue-tied and twisted. Please, Walter, don't. Um, so again, it was just as an example. We're only going to cover the root chakra. The root chakra deals with a lot of things. Our survival has always been part of that. It deals with the lower pelvic region. It's also our prosperity center. And so people who can't hold on a job or always seem to, in the mind that's like, I just can't make ends meet. I can never get ahead. Um, I live paycheck to paycheck. I'm lucky if I can pay my bills before, the money runs out. That kind of mindset is based on the root chakra. And so we can go in and do scanning to see, what somebody's, if their prosperity is shrunk, or maybe it's congested and it's too big. Sometimes they will expand all of a sudden because something new is coming, a new opportunity. Maybe they're gonna decide to buy a lotto ticket and win. Uh, the root chakra or base chakra governs your temperature. It governs the bones. So blood, because blood is made inside, the marrow of your bones. Um, we think of it like, for myself, it comes off of the coccyx area. Sling and I were talking about this earlier for grounding, and for me, for people who are just learning to ground, I almost said grind. To ground was to imagine coming off of your tailbone a root, and just imagine this root growing right off of your tailbone, just and see it twisting and turning and rolling and getting longer and breaking through the floor and going down through whatever's beneath you. If it's dirt, if it's cement, if it's um, rock and sediment and other roots and twigs and a dinosaur here or there,
Yeah.
and just see it going down until you connect it to maybe something that seems like a big giant boulder or whatever, and you connect it to that. Hey, Annie. I love you, Annie. Um, so in that visualization, for me, when I used to use it years ago, it was an instantaneous, after the first time, because the first time was, building it. The second time would be just boom, it was there. I just had to think about roots, chakra, boom. But I always got this really lovely, warm, I'm going to say sensual feeling. I didn't, there was just a warmth. I felt very connected. Um, when people talk about anchoring, or when they talk about grounding and centering is just getting back to who you are, to know that you're the soul piloting this body. And so you are just centering yourself, being here in that awareness, that self-awareness, that observer, watching the body, watching the feelings, watching the thoughts. Does that help, Sling, for what we were saying earlier?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you got room for a question to come in there?
Sure.
Okay. If the root chakra is out of balance, would you feel a necessary strong need to be in control?
No, that would be more solar plexus, and also too, sometimes that can be the ajna, because ajna, is willpower, but it's the willpower over all of the chakras. The base chakra, there's survival there. Your fight or flight can come into play there. Um, I wouldn't say that you need to have control. That's not the way I think of it. No, Terry, I think that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Um, anyway, where was I? Root
You were
chakra.
talking about
Yeah,
the
I got it.
ajna and all
Um,
that.
um, here, we will just go into this, and I will just read this from here, straight from the book, because it's easier that way.
Mm-hmm.
Stay, quit pushing buttons. Silly thing. So anyway, all the chakras do have energy. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, my screen just did something strange. There we go. So all the chakras are energetically tied. All right. Thank you, Panther. To different organs. They actually work with certain organs. So on your basic chakra, it's going to work with the muscular and the skeletal systems. Remember, I talked about blood as well because of the bone structure, the bones, the marrow. It deals with the spine because it's at the base of the spine. So it has to do with spinal health. Um, it's the production and quality of the blood produced. I already said that. The adrenal glands are part of the basic chakra. So if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if anxiety is part of it, you can work on grounding and centering the base chakra, on cleaning out anything that might be, either if it's congested or maybe it needs to be energized because there's not enough energy. Meditating on just the basic chakra, he's not happy, um, can bring a lot of awareness to yourself, to your well-being. Just to pause here for a second because it's popping in my head. When Roland, you were asking about the science. This is soul, and don't really know of a lot of science that deals with it, but there was a physician a number of years ago, because Master Cho was still alive, and he was at a convention with other physicians bringing up about the pranic healing because they used it in the hospital. There are a couple hospitals that use it on their patients. They find that patients heal faster. No, I know, honey. I understand that. And are you kidding? I love you. And I appreciate that. But I am not educated in the psychology of extraordinary beliefs, I guess is what, in your language, in what you do. I'm only educated in the spiritual aspect of all of this. And through having spent over 30 years as an energy healer, I have what I've done with my own hands, helping people to be able to walk again and do wonderful things. And I bless whoever it is that planted the seed. I'm grateful for it. So, two different professional viewpoints, and it's great. And I love it. But what I was telling you for your benefit, and I will try to find you if there is any kind of video or something for it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. A number of years ago at this medical convention, a bunch of MDs, they were giving a demonstration on the pranic healing. And what they did, the doctor took the blood pressure of a certain person. They had somebody come volunteer, and they took their blood pressure. It was normal. Then he explained, because he was trying to make a point to these people on how, whether you see it or not, because there are machines like the magnetoencephalogram. I think it is, or encephalograph. I don't remember. Jeez.
Something like that.
The MEG, MEG. Anyway, that can measure energy outside of the body, the electromagnetic fields, etc. So more stuff to sit and talk about, and I would love to. He worked on, we talked about the Meng Main, and I said that's a do not touch. Don't play with it. If your kidneys are sore, talk to me. But in the demonstration, he energized, which you're not supposed to do, he energized the Meng Main, and within a matter of minutes, this person's blood pressure went 200 over something. I mean, dangerous levels. He could have stroked out. And of course, he got in trouble for doing that, even though they understood his reasoning behind it. Master Cha says, you never do that. It took them over 45 minutes to bring it back down to normal, and it only took 2 minutes to jack it up to a point that this person's health was in jeopardy. There are lots of scientific fields out there that are proving that people are able to manipulate physiology of organisms, organic compounds, of the pH of the body. And if you want to be entertained, because they only briefly really show some of the science, go look for Superhuman, the invisible made visible. And there you can watch different scientists that are doing tests with this energy and being amazed that they can alter as much as, if they have a margin of, let's say, 10% for error, and they're altering it 50%, there's no error. It's actually somebody's thoughts intervening, we'll call it. But if anybody wants to go watch that, we tried to do a screenshot or a watch party for it, but it is no longer on Netflix unless you want to buy it. And it used to be part of Prime. So, general vitality, the growth rate of children. If you have a child that's not growing very quickly, you check their root chakra or base chakra, and if it's depleted, you can give it energy to help them grow. If maybe they're growing too much, check it and see if it's congested, and remove the congestion, bring it back to normal. Hello, Spitfire. Why am I being so tongue-tied tonight?
You're talking fast.
I am? Okay. I apologize. We did say...
No need to apologize.
We did say body heat already. At least if I didn't, I'm going to say it again. And it also affects the heart and the sex organs. So the energies that come into play with the chakras, with the chakra system, can do so much more than just sit and spin. If it's malfunctioning, somebody could be experiencing rheumatism or arthritis, spinal problems. Very true, Crystal. The root chakra, the base chakra. I've got to stop saying root. See, I should have never looked at that 7. The basic chakra deals with growth. It deals with your blood, healthy blood formation.
Bones.
Yep, your bones. Blood ailments and allergies. If you've got allergies, chances are you've got stuff going wrong with the root chakra. And I mean, self-care is important. So just like Ayurveda, if you've ever seen the tongue scrapers are really good. It's okay, honey. I love you, Annie. I'm giving you big, big hugs. And you're welcome, Amanda. So, heart ailments can be attributed to it. I mean, obviously, physical stuff. It's okay, Crystal. Huggles. It was an off day for me. I actually ran into some very rude people twice and was kind of like, excuse me? And I'm not used to people just being ugly. And I admit that threw me off, and I didn't do enough disconnect, I guess. Um, I was trying to, and then I had that headache. And now the big thing about pranic healing, and we're talking with the chakras and everything, is that this is not meant to replace any medical anything, not medical diagnosis or treatments. It's been used in hospitals. Excuse me, I have throat tickle.
I give it back to you.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Only because I love you.
It's been, or it is in use now, I believe in New York, and I can't remember where else. There's a hospital on the East Coast that has been taught to many of the nurses and doctors there. And there's one doctor in particular who uses it. And when they have troublesome patients, they give him the patients because he's able to facilitate thank you, Annie. That he's able to facilitate their recoveries so much quicker. He has amazing results, and that in itself, seeing that his patient recovery rate is like double that of the other doctors, that would be testimony or scientific proof, I would say, because it's medical, that just doing that added bit of the pranic healing helps. So, I mean, for me, having my shoulder locked up for 15 years, and after 2 minutes of doing it on myself, and then I could lift my arm up over my head because, I could only lift my arm this way. And in order to get it up, I had to use my other arm. And then I was stuck with like this. But now I can put my hand up here, and I couldn't do that. It'd been 15 years. But we won't get into that because, hey. Because I think the last time I used it, I was able to do it was around 2010.
Now you're talking about, they're using it in doctors' offices and hospitals now. I had one that was, they couldn't. I had problems with my back, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. But he said that I need to see a non-traditionalist doctor.
Right.
Is that what that would be considered?
I honestly don't know what he was saying. If he meant for you to see a homeopathic, type of person, or to see an energy type, or to see osteopaths used to be considered. I mean, they were old tradition, and then you get into the MDs, and osteopaths became almost non-existent. Osteopaths were doing stuff, and then chiropractors came along, and chiropractors do pretty much the same thing that osteopaths do, with the exception of, drugs and stuff like that. There's a gentleman named Upledger. I can't remember, John Upledger, and he has an institute in Florida, and he does cranial sacral therapy and a couple other things. Well, he learned from going to an osteopathic, an OD convention about the cranial sacral, but they called it something different, and because these ODs were able to just lightly touch a patient to be able to tell that something was out of whack, something was out of place, whatever, and accurately. And he kind of slept through the class and blew off one of the classes or whatever. And when he got called in to assist this one surgeon. All he had to do, they were doing some surgery on the spine, was all he had to do was hold the dural matter still, and he'd grip it with the forceps to hold it in place so that the doctor could come. And I think he was, the surgeon was taking off some plaque or something. But what he noticed is that the dural matter would pull itself right out of the forceps. And so, I mean, you know how those pinch and really bite down, and it literally would just kind of like extricate itself. And he got in trouble from the surgeon. It's like, you have one job to do, hold it still. And he's like, I'm trying. And then they'd have to go back through the process, cleaning and getting it ready and grabbing again and holding it. And then it would like move. And he checked with the anesthesiologist, and he was like, have you seen stuff like this before? Is this tying in? It's not matching, the breathing, watching that. And then, he just checking with everybody to see it did not coincide with any of the body system that they were monitoring. It didn't coincide with the heart rate, didn't coincide with the breath rate. And it was perplexing because it had a rhythm. He could time it. After a couple times of seeing it do this, he could time it. And so through that fiasco and everything, he went back to actually paying attention at another lecture with the OD, discovering about this cranial sacral, but they called it something different in the osteopathic doctors system. I don't know what it was. And of course, you figure that was probably 40 years ago that he did it, because I think he's in his 80s now, maybe longer than that. And I learned it. I did three terms with him. Well, not him personally, but his teachers, and it's fascinating. And I cannot give any language to explain why it works. I just know it does. I just know that when I've got somebody with their head cradled in my fingertips, I can affect some subtle changes. And then I'll watch their body, and all of a sudden they'll have that, like when you have that vagal nerve release where they just sigh, and there's a change, there's a shift. We listen for other body sounds like gurgling in the stomach will all of a sudden happen when something shifts in the body. And it's amazing. They did work with children that were autistic and kids that didn't like to be touched. But after a few sessions, they would literally climb up and get on the table and lay there and wait. And they had improvement. Problem was, the improvement never lasted. It was always short term. And, it was only a study that they were doing. So, then they stopped treating the kids. But for I think 6 weeks or something, they were going in there a couple times a week and doing that. So at any rate, Dr. John Upledger is an interesting person to go look up and read. I'm trying to think, there's so many modalities that science, as Crystal put it, they don't have any patience for it to learn about it because it's not money making. It's not patentable.
Like medicine and
yeah,
everything else, or surgery technique or whatever.
And then even what research has been done, there's little of it. These private people that are doing it, then their stuff is getting kind of poo-pooed because, well, you're not a doctor or you're not this, but you're doing these tests and you're chronicling everything, and you can show on machines that doctors have, etc. These guys are on the payroll roll, and they're the actual physicians working there. Anyway, So there's a lot. You just got to do the research, I guess, and see what you can find. And I'll be happy to find stuff uh, from my teachers, to point you in a direction. But like I said, these are actual physicians and nurses in the hospital doing this same stuff, and they're studying the chakras. And so, and mental, look, Roland works with mental, that with helping people through that. um our mental outlook, you've got that. There are so many interesting things out there. We talked about it, was it day before or yesterday? Did we mention about the little girl with the heart transplant?
No, not the girl with the heart transplant.
um
We got all the others. The one that was hit by a car from a bicycle, to the airplane crash, to the and of course the daughter that had the broke pelvic bone.
well, that's the wife, yeah.
Yeah,
um
we've done all that, but except for the heart one.
there was a little girl, and I will find that information and share it with anybody that wants it. I don't remember the name. Hey, Randy. But she had a heart transplant. She was, I think, 8 or 9, 10 years old. And when she was home, she started having nightmares. I'm paraphrasing and shortening it. Her mother reached out to the hospital and asked, I need to know where this heart came from. They went through, got permission to put the parents with the donor's parents. It was a little girl who'd been murdered. Well, the little girl, I skipped this, I apologize. She was having nightmares of being murdered. She saw the man's face. She could describe him perfectly. She knew what the murder weapon was and where it was. She didn't know that came from the child whose heart it was. For whatever reason, the mother decided too much weird stuff going on right after. Is this because of the anesthesia? Is this because whatever? Where'd the heart come from? And so indeed, they discovered that the little girl that was the donor had been murdered. And the story goes, and I'm going to say story, that the police were able to question the little girl. The details were so direct or spot on or whatever that they were able to catch the man and to recover the weapon that killed the little girl. And of course, the parents never knew at the time of the operation or even during the recovery that the child had been murdered. They know that the heart possesses 40,000 neurites. We have so many billion neurons in the brain. The heart contains memory. The heart produces 1,000 times more electromagnetic field than the brain does. There is more information leaving the heart to the brain than there is from the brain to the heart. So we got so far.
That was my fault, and I'm sorry. I asked that
No,
one
you didn't.
question.
It's not your fault. It was because I wanted to address, and it's good. I firmly believe everything happens for a reason. And so I am going to be happy to I don't know. I started calling him Randy. And see, Roland's easy for me to remember because my mother's maiden name was Roland at one time. Well, not her maiden name, her married name, but anyway. So, but Rolly, if you have my email address or you don't, I'll toss it to you, and I'll be happy to share with you all kinds of information and so forth, etc. And at your leisure, you can have a laugh or go, oh, never thought of that, or stuff. Yes, it does. And the neurites also contain memory. It thinks. They have proven that the heart thinks. That's why they've always said, follow your heart, the heart knows. I mean, that old adage. And, so the heart sends more data to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And there are many people who've experienced changes in personality and in habit, memory, from having cadaver bones, having somebody else's organ transplanted, changing personality. A woman getting some man's, I forgot what she got. I think she got a kidney. I don't remember exactly, but she had, because I went on a binge hunt for information about people's experiences, personal experiences with having transplants and what changes had transpired. And so her personality, she was always a mousy, kind of shy little woman. But after getting this man's kidney, her friends were saying she was walking different. She like walked with purpose and confidence. And a friend of mine started craving food that he never had after getting a cadaver bone in his ankle. And I forgot what we named the bone, but we always made nice to the bone and talked to the bone. So
I've heard a story where a woman she was like a complete vegan, vegetarian vegan, never would not eat meat, wouldn't touch meat, nothing. And she got an organ transplant and
started
craving meat, and she couldn't understand it. And everybody, and to come to find out, it was from a guy, and he was more of a carnivore than he was a plant eater.
Yeah,
So,
I got to read several stories similar to that people were just, they experienced so many changes. Dietary habits changed, food, craving foods, liking things. Like, I remember reading one, this woman hated the smell of beer, but boy, she couldn't get enough of it after she got an organ transplant. And so, I have always taught from my perspective that, and this is what I was taught from my mentor 50 some odd years ago. The cells retain memory. Your cells contain not only the blueprints from your parents and your grandparents and your great great grandparents and great 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 great, going back as far as you want to, but they contain the memories, and it's the memories up to that key point of conception. And that's why we have this kind of a dichotomy, but not. You've got the soul memories. For if people are familiar or believe in reincarnation, having past life memories. There are therapists, hypnotists, and so forth that do past life regression. Then you have the cellular memory, is what I call it. That maybe it's a deja vu, like you're peeling a potato and then you kind of have a flashback of doing this, but everything's different. The kitchen is different. Smells are different, and what you're flashing back on is actually something that your great grandma did, or even your grandfather. Who knows? And so that's the cellular memory that gets passed on down. In the shamanic traditions and other spiritual traditions that are in the same vein, it's viewed that the things that our ancestors experienced, both the health problems and just their life experiences, when they pass on, they still have those experiences. We contain pieces of it. And so to go and kind of like doing a vision quest, but you're going to whatever you imagine, meet with your ancestors, the ones you know, the ones you don't know, for however far back you want to go, and then just uh, call them in, let them know you've got this. So whatever diseases they are still clinging to, if you want to call it that, whatever is existing in them, the injuries, the illnesses, the personality quirks, whatever, and you've got this. And so you clear it from them, and then you work on clearing it from you. And it's gone. Can't even talk now.
Mm.
I think I knew that, Rolly. Do you do past life regression?
I would love to get hypnotized one time.
I started to study that, and then life happened, and I never continued.
Okay. Now I'm gonna get off my squirrel because you got me on the squirrel. I had something going and you got me a squirrel. Thank you. Ooh, he said yes indeed.
Cool.
Yes. Um, now, so what you were talking about made me think of something.
Okay.
About one of your other talks that you had about how water retains memory,
Right.
and our body is made up majority of
70,
water.
80% water. Yeah,
Yeah,
70% easy because most of us don't drink enough water.
a lot of water. So that's um made me think of that because how much water is in us that it that's a lot of memory to hold
Yeah,
on to.
absolutely. And so, it's kind of, that's why if you're having, if you go back to Masaru Emoto's studies, I really love his study that he did with the rice. Um, do you remember that one? I know I've shared it.
Yeah, the what was it? The rice would talk. They did almost the same thing. They taught or did something good to it, and it stayed fresh, like almost like fresh as if they just put it in a jar. The other was rotten and smelly, and because it was just degraded. When they would get
Yeah,
bad
kind
stuff
of.
up.
They did 3 jars. The first, they took dry rice, poured it in 3 beakers. They poured
Hmm.
water in each beaker. The first jar or beaker, I mean, was given gratitude and and praise. You're so good, and I'm so grateful and thank you, and da 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 da. And then the second one was you're worthless, you're a piece of blah, and just talking down to it, you're no good, and stuff.
Hmm.
And then the last one was just completely, utterly ignored. The first one after 30 days, now these were not covered. So bacteria, fermentation, etc., um, and mold and anything else could have fallen in there. They weren't covered. And the first one was sweet and fermenting, like it was turning into wine. The second one was moldy and had junk growing in it that really didn't belong there. And then the third one that was completely, utterly ignored was black and rotten. It just completely was like destroyed. And his premise on this experiment was that think about our children and the words we say to our kids, you know, and don't forget too, because we've lived that the just the action can make us feel like, well, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Because, well, they don't show me any love, so I must not be worthy, even though they didn't say you're not worthy. The actions did. So it's not just verbal. but also the action, the attitude, the type of attention we give or don't give our children. So that was what he was saying, is that, think about our children. If you're doing this to rice and you're doing that to your kids, you're affecting their I'm going to say their soul. That's not what I mean, but we're just going to say you're affecting their soul. You're turning that subconscious belief, maybe we'll do, I think Roland probably does shadow work, maybe with Carl Jung, that kind of stuff. But anyway, so there you have it. Bob's your uncle on down the road.
He's not my uncle.
No, he's not.
Now say that's a little bit better than the last time you said.
You caught that.
That's what I always say. I have ADHD. I'm not ADHD. I have it. Just because you have something doesn't make it. Just because you have something doesn't make you who you are. It doesn't define you.
And what if the world's your oyster? What if you could change that?
Yeah.
What if you could just change your point of view or something? I mean, I'm simplifying, but it's like, what if? What ifs are great to ask yourself.
Well,
what if I could be a millionaire? What if I could have my own healing center? What if I could, and you do that.
Well, I have noticed though that, like through the meditations and stuff like that, my squirrel moments are not quite as bad as they used to be.
We were talking about you at lunch this afternoon. I saw Angela, and she was saying that she noticed you had smoothed out and everything. You weren't all bing, 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 bing. She thought that was good. So see, other people are noticing too.
I need to meet Angela one day. I've heard so much about her.
She's been in our chat a few times. What am I going about it? Or what am I going to do about it?
Or what am I doing about it?
Oh. What I had been taught was when you ask certain questions, forming them in a specific manner, that your brain seeks a way to make that come into being. It's looking for the answers, what it's looking for. But anyway, so shall we?
I got you rolling.
That's all right, Rolly. I still love you bunches. You are so awesome. I want to bring him up just for his ice cream truck or his toilet. Well, no, because he's fun to talk to too. But hey, I'm being silly now. So,
excuse me.
You're excused. We got way off topic and went all over the field. So, we're going to. I'm going to work on doing the Discord and getting that set up tomorrow and probably Saturday, because I'm still without a car. I took my hubby's today and it actually drove and I didn't have any problems, and I'm happy about that. They haven't touched my car, so I have no chance of getting it back until maybe Monday or Tuesday. As long as I got it back before next weekend, I'm good, because yeah, sorry. Got pulled away for a second. So meditation. we'll do that here in a minute. And then nothing again until Tuesday. And Tuesday is the spirit guides. I will have up on the Facebook page. I think that's it. Excuse me. I will have the workbook there. I will have the workbook also on my Google Docs. So if anybody wants to be shared, or is that English? If anybody wants me to share with you the Google Doc address, I'm going to drop my email in the chat. I will put it up, or Sling could. Carla's head. Who's Carl? Oh, Carl's. I haven't hit Carl on the head.
Ah, you picked that up, huh? I had a migraine earlier. And it lets me know every now and then it's still there. But not as bad. Sorry, I don't mean to. I've been trying to block it and not let it get into the chat, but you know how it is. Sometimes you just does.
Okay, I just put my email address in there and it didn't show up.
Yeah, your email's there. I see it.
Huh.
It's in the chat, YouTube chat.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's not in the. There it is. Okay. There you go. For anybody that wants my email address, there you have it. And let me know. I will be glad to share with you any information I've got on the heart transplant stuff, or any other type of weird and unusual stories about people experiencing changes in personality. You got it. Thank you, Rolly. You know, and if I could find that, I'm thinking I will buy that stupid movie or rent it.
You keep talking about doing it.
I know.
Well,
Yeah, typos can be very entertaining, and so can these moments where Squirrel. I love you, Annie. So back into the flow. So tomorrow and Saturday I will work on the Discord, and I will finish up the workbook for Tuesday. And I'll make sure, if you drop me your email, you got my email address, drop me an email if I don't have it. And then I can send you a link to the Google Doc or to the Facebook Doc for the workbook, so you can have it before Tuesday night. And then we will go through spirit guides. Okay, Padme. So, but Rolly, definitely, if you've got, the wherewithal to watch it, it's a very interesting movie called Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible. And the reason why I got hooked on it, I've seen it like 4 times before they took it off. And I found out why they took it off. They took it off because now they're on Gaia. And Gaia pays more. So anyway, and probably too, Gaia doesn't share. I don't know. But the reason why I got so enthralled in that movie is because it opens up with these children wearing these blindfolds, and they're not just tied on the face. These are a very thick, I think, a neoprene kind of rubber. They're like an inch thick, and they fit right over the face. I had watched a trailer, and the trailer was from this martial arts school in Utah, who has a brief mention in that movie. And they were showing that they were teaching not only people who had vision, but people who didn't have vision, literally missing eyes, that were able to see through the use of energy through third eye. And I am so big about wanting to help people. I want to be there. I want to lift people up. I want to heal. I want to take care of people. It's just me. And when I saw that, it's like, I want to learn that. I want to learn it. But they wanted $6,000 for a week class. It was like, I'm sorry, $6,000 for a week class, $1,000 a day, and you're not paying my room and board, and you're not buying my food. So yeah, no, I'm sorry. That just, and I don't even think it was 6 days. I think it was 5. So it was just kind of like, meh. I was angry with it. It's good to be paid an honest value, but anyway, don't get me started. So anyway, that was why I fell in love with the movie. And so they had these kids, and they were running an obstacle course, running in and out of cones with their vision. They were reading books with the blindfolds on. They were able to. I know that was what Mike said. I actually wrote them a nasty letter when I got that back from them. It's like, oh yeah, for $6,000, you can come here to Utah. We don't do online. It was like, and that was last year. It was like pandemic. Let me think. People don't have that kind of money, and really, but the type of martial arts they do. Let me see if I can find the name. It's a mouthful. Let's see. Okay, that ain't it. I thought it was MVP, but supposedly this type of martial art was only taught to the royal guards. So how these two brothers, Merpati Putti, there we go. I found it.
That's a name.
Yeah, let me type that in, because
Say that real fast, by the way. See?
I think, is it IH or is it? Yeah, IH. Okay. So that's the martial art that they taught.
2 Eastern.
Yeah. Right now it's 9:52 Central Time. Who's falling asleep? Anyway, so Merpati Putti, and it's supposed to be a martial art that was only taught to the Indonesian royal guard, the royal family's secret method of energy awareness and personal protection. There you have it. Bob's your uncle. Don't say it. And so I was interested in discovering and learning and all of that. Okay, that hurt my eyes.
Yeah.
Lunchtime. And being able to fight blindfolded. And I watched this one guy. He literally put Band-Aids over his eyeballs to keep his eyelids down, and then put that neoprene rubber blindfold on. They went into Walmart, and the kids were like, okay, find me a bag of Lay's potato chips. And so they're doing their scanning, and then turned around and grabbed looked and then found the bag, any bag of lays, and then there was another, they found other stuff. It was just like give out a name and then they'd sit there and scan the shelves until they found it. And it was just, I saw all the potential to be able to help people. Now, they were helping some blind people who said that they were able to, if they couldn't find their cane, they could see it more, actually kind of see it and be able to move with it. A couple other people whose vision was poor, excuse me, and they had to have those big giant like plaques of magnifying glass that they would put over a page to be able to read the page. And so their vision was so poor that they had to put their eye up, like right up against it, just to see things. And so through learning this, they were able to fix, the physical eye seemed to be still having problems, but through whatever means, machinations of this, they were able to maneuver around their apartments blind. Down the street, there was one gentleman that had to have his eyes removed when he was a child, and he could actually see things in his apartment. I found it fascinating and just utterly beautiful. And then the woman in that superhuman, they did the remote viewing, and that was in there. They did. She went to this one scientist. I don't remember if he was a neuroscientist. I don't remember what he was. And then they had some other people working with cells and whatnot, but like stem cells and stuff. But he was testing the pH of something. I don't remember what it was. DNA of some sort. They didn't say what DNA it was, but it was DNA. And she affected it. They gave her like 2 minutes to send out this thought, do whatever to project it onto that thing, and they were able to measure it, and it was different. And they set up so many tests and then calculated what the field or the field of error, the margin of error was. And so if she could move it a full like 10 points, that was way beyond the margin of error. And it was very, very, very enlightening and fascinating to see all of this stuff. And I wanted to share it because it shows the human potential. There's more to us than what meets the eye. So whether people don't do or don't accept the chakra system, it doesn't change the fact that they are there. And through certain mechanisms or machinery, they can discern it. Heart Math Institute is really a cool place to go check out. If you're familiar with that or not familiar, go check out their website, Heart Math Institute. They have been working on heart-brain coherence and stuff for decades, and they've got a lot of like hemisync stuff there and binaural things, along with studies that they've been doing about the heart and how when you get this coherence, which is why when we do the meditation and we bring the crown and the heart together, we have a good center to work from. Does that make sense? That's why Master Ko's twin hearts is bringing the heart and the crown together. So I talked too much. Ready to meditate. Where are we going to go, Sling? You want to go to the ocean, don't you?
Ooh, I like the ocean. I like the waterfall. Yeah, because actually that's what I'm getting. Because I know Crystal likes the ocean. So does Amanda. I think the ocean would be a good one.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. Ocean.
Crystal are the knots from nutrient deficiency, minerals, etc., or from overworking, or doing like me and banging into something when I'm going around a corner too fast. And that hurts.
Charlie horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them just stretch them back out.
Well, magnesium, and from my studies in nutrition, the magnesium is actually really key towards that. Even though it's like, oh, potassium, you got a cramp, potassium. It's like, not necessarily. If you're getting a cramp during a workout, that's potassium. If you're getting a cramp without a workout, that's magnesium. Overwork. How are your electrolytes?
Because electrolytes help.
What type of magnesium is it? Magnesium citrate is crap. Your best form of magnesium morning would be magnesium threonate. Magnesium, let's see, is it gluconate or glycinate? I always get the two mixed up, and I don't know why. Because squirrel. Let me see. I have it written down because I write everything down. But magnesium citrate is not a real good form of magnesium. It's meant to help you go to the bathroom. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a person like you that spends every day studying because that's my life.
Magnesium G,
glycinate,
glycinate, and malate. Yeah, the other one, the one that makes you go running.
Citrate, yeah.
Milk of magnesium.
Yeah, milk of magnesium is citrate, and of course, that reminds me, I'm doing that flush tomorrow. Warning, everybody, stay clear.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be talking to her.
Yeah,
tomorrow afternoon. Nope.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to do it in the morning or I'm going to do it in the evening, or not evening because I don't want a rough night.
No.
There's that off chance that, oh my God.
That's like doing a colonoscopy prep. Oh my gosh, you had to do that all night. You do not sleep.
No. Come on. I know you wrote it.
What you looking for?
I'm looking for my notes. I've sat in on a nutritionist panel, and I mean, long way back, and I love magnesium. Magnesium threonate works wonderful. It goes through the blood-brain barrier, and I mean, it helps with cognitive abilities, memory, and stuff. I feel so much better when I take it. It's one of the more expensive ones, and that one you want to take in the morning, not at night, because you might be up all night. Malate is not really I don't remember if malate had problems with digestion or not. So I'm not going to say anything until I look up what I wrote, because I wrote at the top of the page in giant letters. We had this problem last time I was looking for this. You know that?
Yes. I told you. You need to get them.
I know. I've already got enough notebooks. This is all. Okay, now I'm in all of Latrice's notes. Metabolic syndrome, hyperinsulinemia.
You need those tabs.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow morning, because I have to.
You got to go back out tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll remind you.
Thank
if I can remember.
Spirulina, healing hands. There was an Ayurvedic Hindi versus Bible kind of thing, and I can't find that one either. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. More Latrice. I miss Latrice. Rolly, have you seen Latrice lately?
Glycinate puts you night.
Yeah, the glycinate. Yeah, it's very relaxing. I think that's like the second one. I am very disappointed in myself.
Nah, you just got a lot of notes.
I know, but still. See, I have to keep the notes because, as everybody already knows, I go on squirrel binges.
Yes.
And I can't not respond. I can't just, keep my mouth shut and not respond because I find that rude.
Well,
and I don't want to be rude to anybody. I love my family here. Everybody is great and understanding and shares some really cool stuff. I'm going to find it the second time around and I'm going to go, I passed you. Maybe not, because I've been through twice and I'm not going to. Okay, one book down. There's the other book right next to it or underneath it. Yes,
question
sir.
while you're doing that.
Okay, answer.
As soon as you get done with that, you're going to go straight to meditation?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready.
I was going to say, anybody that needs the restroom probably should go do that. I was asking Rolly if you'd seen Latrice lately. I haven't gotten to see her. Yeah, I missed her last night because I was here. That's Cryon. Four Noble Truths. Wesak Festival. And it's funny because this is my process to try to organize because I can squirrel it. Yep, it was wrong book. Told you. Big giant letters, magnesium. So magnesium 3 and 8, this crosses blood-brain barrier. It actually increases the synaptic density. Magnesium glycinate is the relaxing one. It helps to release GABA. Chelated form, it also absorbs in its whole form. The glycine increases the blood flow to the extremities. Magnesium taurate, that one's bound to taurine, and that's a good one for people who are active. It helps with muscle building, not like you're trying to build muscles, but just for the breakdown and the building back of muscle tissue. It clears out all the toxic waste, like the uric acid, et cetera, in the muscles, and it speeds up the recovery process. It also calms the nervous system at the muscle level. If you're feeling kind of on the edgy side, magnesium taurate is the best one to take. Oh, he's just being silent, Padme. He's getting ready. That's okay, Rolly. I'm glad I got to see you here. And twice. I feel so blessed. Let's see. An overall general mag that would be okay to take would be magnesium chloride. You want chelated with the extra chloride molecule. It helps in actually creating more gastric juices in your tummy. So that's good. And it absorbs very well. the malate is kind of on the bottom of the barrel, but the absolute worst is glutamate, citrate, aspartate, and magnesium oxide. Um, Magnesium oxide's absorption rate is only 4%, and the aspartate and the glutamate, those are actually excitotoxins. So you don't want those. And then of course we already know citrate is a laxative.
Now that
Aspartate,
the glutamate or what?
glutamate, yeah,
Yes, is that the same as my let's say MSG?
no,
Okay, because it's got glutamate on it too as well. That's
right.
what I was
So
asking.
that's that. Yeah, glutamic acid. It's a molecule.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah,
I,
it's bound to it. Um,
uh,
yeah, monosodium glutamate, and the MSG. It was only like 10 years ago they were saying it's a neurotoxin and it actually causes damage to the brain and other stuff. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it doesn't cause you any harm, and it does. And it's like,
it can trigger migraines
well,
because
it does more than that. I mean, it really does affect the nervous system. I can't take it. It makes me sick as a dog.
that's why I tell when I go to Chinese restaurants, I tell them do not put MSG in my Chinese food.
Yeah, some of it
Um,
they've already done it.
Crystal, I tried to tell you, and I forgot I had my mic up, and I couldn't talk to you. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Uh, no, my head is not. It's good now. It's gone. I actually had my guys take care of it for me. It's gone back.
Yeah, if you could. Oh, wrote down Paula's pain.
Anyways, all right. I'm going back to silent. I'll see.
Okay.
I'll
Are you
just
gonna
let me know
mute?
when you. Yes, I am. So you
Mute.
won't hear me for a while.
All right. Okay. If you can find just a plain glycinate, uh, you might have better uh, a better absorption and better results. And you might not be taking enough, and you need to take something else with it to facilitate the body's ability to utilize it. Now, ready, everybody? If you're going to, if you need water, if you haven't already got it, please get it now. And we're going to get ready to go for a trip to the beach. Just show me a couple hands or a few readies, and we'll go for it. And I am going to bring back Master Choa with the Om. Just in the back. Sling, if you give me a thumbs up, if you can hear that. Okay. Thank you, dear. Ready, Crystal? Ready, Padme? Donnie, if you're still here, we've lost 3. Got back to 9. To help facilitate that, let down, that ease in. Remember to when you close your eyes, turn your eyes up like you're trying to look up at your forehead. Don't lift your chin up. Just keep your head up. Be nice and even. Sit and relax. We're going to do about 4 nice square breaths. First breath before we get into the square breathing. Remember, square breath is inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, etc., etc. I want you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale good and long, slow and controlled out of the mouth. So your inhale should be shorter, your exhale should be longer, but you really want to slow it down. This will be a good vagal tone. So when you're ready, if everybody can go ahead and close your eyes, let your eyes softly turn up. Inhale through your nose. Exhale slow through your mouth. And just have a couple normal breaths. Remember, we want Buddha bellies. Inhale all the way to our belly, and then pull our tummy in when we're exhaling. Take the tip of your tongue, connect to the roof of your mouth, behind your teeth. And let's begin our square breathing. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And breathe. Ask whomever you desire to be present with you here and now, your guardian angels, your guides, your ascended masters, master teachers, whomever you wish, your ancestors, support team. Now imagine taking a ride down a winding road. Somebody's driving the car, so you get to sit and relax. Enjoy the breeze against your skin. The top is down. The moon is full, and it's risen high in the night sky. Feel the road beneath you, the sound of the tires, a slight scent of salty air, caught every now and then. Knowing that you will be at the beach soon with all your friends, with your family, your ancestors, your guides. Fills you with anticipation. Breathe in, breathe out. And the car begins to slow as you come around a bend. And there are big boulders that mark the entrance to where you need to park the car. It's so wonderful to just go along for the ride. And as the motor stops and the car parks, the one driving the car comes over and opens the door for you and takes your hand, helps you up. Breathe in, breathe out. The air has just a slight warmth to it. The scent of seaweed on the beach is easily discernible. But there's something else, another fragrance. It seems to call. You begin to walk along the gravel, feeling it crunch beneath your feet. The sound. The air caresses your skin. And the glow of the sun smiles upon you. You work your way to a small path that winds and weaves amongst beach grass and strange plants, an occasional rock here and there, maybe some driftwood. And slowly, the angle changes and you begin to descend. And as you take each step, moving closer down towards the beach, you feel the air enveloping you, cradling you, making each step lighter. You round another little rock, another bush, a bigger clump of grass, and you descend deeper, closer to the beach. The anticipation is like butterflies in your belly. Who is waiting for you? What do they have to share for you? What new things will they show you? The joy brings a smile to your lips, like a child anxiously awaiting Christmas Day to unwrap the gifts waiting for them. You come upon some steps, concrete, carved out rock, but something that makes it easy to descend the last few feet. The excitement grows as you feel the sand sink around your feet. You're invited to remove your shoes and set them to the side. There's a bench there where other people have left their shoes. The sand is both warm and cool. It feels good caressing your feet. And as you take your steps out towards the water, towards the beach area, you can see a bright light dancing and shadows all around it. They've built a bonfire. And as your gaze travels beyond the bonfire, beyond the shadows and the lit bodies that danced and sang, the moons painted a beautiful, almost carpet of silvery white light on the ocean waves. You can hear laughter and smell the wood burning. As you stop and stand there for a moment, taking in everything you see, you notice some are standing off a little ways away from the fire, clustered together and just talking. You may wonder what it is that they're sharing. Closer to the fire, you can see the faces alive and lit up from the flame's light, and they're smiling and singing. And you sense the joy there. And further still, on the other side of the fire, you see people clustered and walking towards the water. They stand off to the right of the silvery carpet. And as you watch, you notice some strange, miraculous things take place as somebody steps out, as if walking on the water. They follow the carpet towards the moon. Moving out as the sea gently laps at their feet, soon enough at their knees. And they stop in silence. There's someone who walks up to you from your left. Take note of how they appear. Are they a relation? Are they an angel, maybe? They offer you a choice to join any one of the groups, perhaps all of them. Take time to flit like a butterfly or to join them out into the water and stand embraced by the moon's light. And this is where you get to choose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pay attention to your feelings. Does someone speak to you and give you a message? Does someone new come up and introduce themselves? Ask them, what do they have for you? Are they a new teacher? A new guide? Someone just bringing you a message of love? Know that whatever you choose is right for you. Listen to the flames. Listen to the waves. Let go. Just let go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whatever your choice was, thank them. It's time to take steps back to the car. Know that at any time you can come back. You can dance around the fire. Or embrace the moon. Let's move now, along with our companion. Move back across the sand, away from the flames, away from the music. moving back up the beach to where we left our shoes. Placing them on. Turn around just one more time. Note the moon. Note the water. Note if anything else appears as a salutation. And then let's go back up the trail, up the steps, weave round the rock and around the bush. Your path is clearly lit. Nothing to stumble over. And your companion is there to make sure that you are safe, secure, and back in the car and ready for the ride home. And as that motor starts up, feel that calm just roll right over you. It's good to be home. Listen to the motor, the sound of the tires as they once more crunch on the gravel. Moving out again. The tires kind of chirp once they hit the pavement. The caress of the wind on your face once more greets you and embraces you on your drive home. It moves quickly, and before you know it, you're pulling up back where you began. The door opens and you get out. Take a nice deep belly breath in and hold. Exhale. Oh, just let it all go. Say thank you to your chauffeur, your companion. Wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. Come back. Come back to your body. Open your eyes when you're ready. Give it a good wiggle, stretch. Come back. Hello, baby boy. Are you wanting outside? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Yes, you want outside?
Oh man.
I love you, Rolly. I know you're gone, but I love you. Yeah. All right. So, everybody, give it a wiggle, give it a stretch, give it a hug. Mm. That was relaxing. Yes?
Oh, that's beyond relaxing. Holy crap. It seems like more and more I do this, the deeper and deeper and deeper I go.
Hey there, Crystal. How was your meditation? So, did anybody meet somebody new or have a relation show up? Or did anybody get any kind of messages? Did you see anything on the water besides the reflection of the moon stretched out like a carpet?
You're gonna think I'm crazy as crap.
No, I won't.
You really want to know what I saw pop up out of the water?
Yeah.
A mermaid.
I figured.
You know me too well.
I had seen a mermaid and I saw two dolphins jumping. So I figured I'm not going to say it. I'm going to see if you guys do your own thing there.
Yep, it was a mermaid. A blonde mermaid. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's wonderful, Amanda. Did the mermaid tell you anything?
No, but I felt it was like
Awesome.
she didn't have to. It's like her face said it all. She just
There was
smiled.
there's a message in there. You know, you might have felt it.
Yes, and
Like
that's what I mean.
love
She
or
didn't have to say
unconditional love.
words. Right. She just smiled and it just felt
Good.
peaceful. Good.
So maybe that was the gift she gave you.
Caring.
Crystal, when you felt the presence, did you ask them to come closer? I didn't say that to anybody, but when you are experiencing things like that, ask them to step into your energy field. Ask them to come closer so that you can see them better. That's awesome, Padme. Did the dolphins speak to anybody?
Mhm.
Walter, over here. Come here. Come on, Bubba. Wally. Dude, you're going to have to back up to get out. I don't know. He's being like right here.
Hmm.
Just right here. I love you, son. I love you so much.
Oh man.
Where's my Donnie? I don't think Annie meditated.
Hold on a second.
Interesting, Crystal. What I have experienced when I don't get like something verbal, that I get I have to turn in a little bit more, either open up more or turn in more to look and see, well, what am I really feeling? Am I feeling something? Is that the message? Yes, it does, Padme. That is beautiful. Dolphins are very psychic. Dolphins do communicate. I had a wonderful experience in Mexico at a dolphin, call it a habitat. Um, I sat and meditated before we went out to the pen where the dolphins were that we were going to go swim with, and I just asked. I asked to make a connection. And so when we got there, there was male and female dolphin in the pen that we were, and I was like one of the first people, me and my husband there. And the male, his name was Diablo. He just kept following me back and forth, and he'd sit there with one eye just looking at me. Now I can't see the TV. Thanks, honey.
Mhm.
And so anyway, I'm sorry about that, Donnie. But there will be a couple meditations coming up soon that I'm going to pre-record and just put up, so anybody can go and play with them. But anyway, it was really cool, and of course, trained dolphins, they had to do specific things that these guys wanted. But it was funny because while there was nobody there, no trainer or whatever you call the dudes, the dolphin paid attention to me. But then when the trainer was there and all the people were there, then they did their shtick, and then I had to go back for my shoes because they moved us from that pen for some reason. I can't tell you that, Crystal. I'm not quite understand what you're saying. You were grieving for, you mean? If you saw them, you would know who the person was. But if it was just a face or something that you didn't recognize, it wouldn't be the person you're looking for, if that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, it was really cool, Padme. I really enjoyed that because when I went, they moved us, and I don't even know why they moved us, but they moved us for some reason to another cage. No fun with those two dolphins. Left my shoes. I had those diving shoes or whatever that, the swim shoe kind of thing, beach shoes. And I went back to pick him up, and there was Diablo with the eye, and he's chittering at me. So I knew I made a connection. It was really cool. I wish I would have had the presence to maybe see. That's something that I would dearly like to develop, is animal communication, to be able to understand what they're saying, what they're doing. So yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool. What, babe?
now it's like sometimes I don't have to speak to the dog. It just like knows what I'm thinking, and she looks at me, but it's like she's listening to what I'm saying without saying. Mhm.
He does that with me, but I want to develop it to where there is an actual communication going back and forth, and so that I don't have to guess at what it is he's trying to tell me. You know, I think she's from Canada or she's from Great Britain, but there's a woman that is world famous animal communicator, and she travels to Africa and all over the place to help people with the wild animals that they're working with or whatnot. And it was fascinating and cool. And it's like, that's something I would like to learn or like to develop. And then, here's the logic in me. It's like, you don't need to do everything. So it's okay if I don't do it, but don't really need to do everything, but I want to do it. I think it would be just wonderful to be able to have that communication with them. Walter has done things that I was thinking, and then, it's like I was thinking about getting the spray bottle to spray him for the fleas, and he took off like a bat out of hell. I was like, okay, he heard that thought. I love you. I do. My poor boy. All right, so let's see.
Man, I am still not all here yet.
That's all right. If you're not here yet, remember the exercises I showed you. Do the chin, the head rotation for the vagus nerve, and then go ahead and do the clock with your eyes all the way around the clock. Do that 12 times, and then go the other direction and do that 12 times. Walter, stop. Dude, you need to tell me what you want. Get it through my pea brain. I love you. Yes. Amanda, that's okay. Whether it was your mind or not, that's part of it. That's the way that's the way it starts for communication. So, telepathy is that. It's us being thoughtful, and by allowing the meditation, the words to kind of guide you and then set you up. That's why there was so much silence, is because I wanted you to develop the story, not just have me lead the story all the way. There are times and places for it.
That's like, I had my shoes off long before you told us to take your shoes off, because I love walking barefoot. I just do.
Well, that's all right. It's.
But I could feel the warmth of the sand and the rocks and everything on my feet. They're cold now, but earlier they were warm. From the heat of the sand and stuff. Still.
Yeah.
I actually heard the waves. I heard seagulls. You
can't get in my lap.
What else?
I figured there'd be, definite ocean sounds and smells and things. It's a good way to get your mind, the chatter, to come down. You build the story, and then you have this creativity flowing, and it takes you. And you don't need to process, was that just my imagination, or did they actually come in and do things? I was kind of thinking somebody was going to walk across the carpet and go up on the moon. That's what I expected from somebody. Hey, Trixie. It's all right, baby girl. I'm glad Trixie. You did it. Love you, baby. I think you all did amazing. I love the stories you've shared. Pam, did she fall asleep? I've not seen Pam in a while.
She may have fallen asleep on that one. I haven't heard her.
I haven't seen her talk in a long time. 10:13. When she said ready. That was the last I saw.
No, Pam's still up.
Okay.
She's just mad.
There you are, baby. So now something to do when you go to bed, when you finally shut your eyes, okay? I want you to do this vagus nerve exercise. Sling, that's the one I'm talking about. And the reason for is that it will bring your energy down that much more to help you sleep. because it literally resets the vagus nerve. It helps with the parasympathetic nervous system, so it will calm. It will also work on helping to draw cortisol out of the brain. The key things are one breath, not meaning number one breath. How's that? Number two is this simple exercise, and there's a couple other ones to do too, but this one I think is the easiest. Oh, excuse me, and a good yawn is really good. So, sorry about that, Chief. So
It's
the
okay.
first thing to do is when you go to bed, before laying down, just sit there for a second, give yourself 2 minutes and breathe in through the nose, like let's say count of 4. But when you exhale slower. So in for a count of 4, out for a count of 8. And you do that until you either yawn, swallow hard. Excuse me, jeez, I'm just even talking about it. But those will be your signs that you had a. I'm glad, Spitfire. Thank you that you had a response. But because it ties into your breathing, to the diaphragm, to your heart, to your stomach, lungs, etc. The vagus nerve wanders, and it literally wanders all through. If you know where the occipital notch is at the back of your head, and kind of, it's like, so right here behind the ear, this is the mastoid bone, right? That little bone there. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a bone right there at the skull. And you can tap that with your fingers. Tap them both and just kind of tap for 30 seconds. Not hard tapping, just tap. And breathe in, and then you'll feel like, okay. I'm sorry. So that's 2, right? Number 1 was breathe in for 4, exhale for 8. Do that. Then this is the final straw. There's more. There's like about, I could give you like 3 other ones, but you're going to cradle your head in your hand. And you can do this laying down.
That's my
then
favorite one.
The elbows, right? However far back they are, the reason why you're cradling your head is so you don't do this. And you look with your eyes, and you look as far over as you can. You want to try to just stare here. At first, it's very uncomfortable. It's hard to maintain 5 seconds. You want to work up to 30 seconds. And if you can get really good, you can work up to a minute. So you do that, and you just keep looking back there and looking there, and just keep looking. And you can blink. You don't have to, not blink, but you want to keep looking. And it's like I can tell I'm turning my head a little. So just keep looking. And then you kind of sigh or yawn. Yeah. The other one is 2. Sometimes you just swallow hard. Just kind of like all of a sudden your mouth is full of saliva, and you got to swallow.
Swallow. Don't breathe it.
Yeah, don't breathe it. I've done that too many times. But then you look ahead and kind of give it a moment to relax. And then you go to the other side and you look at the other one and not turn your head, just the eyes. And I find that I have to like literally push my hand a little bit towards the side that I'm trying to look, so I don't turn. But you're just looking there, and just keep looking there and keep looking. And I mean, it kind of hurts a little bit here. But afterwards, it's like, oh my God, I could go to sleep now.
Oh, yeah, start that.
I didn't yawn that time. That was you.
I've been doing this back and forth, side to side.
Yeah, it's this way, turning. that works at the C1 because the vagus nerve innervates there. And I
That's
discovered you have optical nerves. Okay, so here's my divot, right? My little notch, and then this part of the bone, the optic nerves, so you can like tap there. It's good for the eyes. And I don't even remember what it was I was doing. I think I was leaning on that and pushing with my palms, and I was rotating circles and doing, round the clocks, pushing on that, and then going the other direction around the clocks. And I felt clearer in my vision. It was cool.
oh man, that's got my sizes running now.
Yeah. So anyway, hey everybody, I apologize for getting off track tonight. I will make it up to you. If anybody has suggestions on a better way, because I want to answer everybody's questions. And I get why so many YouTubers out there, when they do their live chats, they only pick maybe one person to answer, but for the most part, they don't answer anybody. They stay on their track. They read their script. I am unscripted. I have it in my head what to do, but then because I like to, talk and be part of the family, and interact, I get drawn into that. So I guess I might have to cut back on lives and post some just videos. That way, then I'll just say it, but then nobody can ask a question. So I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm open to, because you guys are my family and I trust you and I feel safe with you. Sling, are you awake?
Yeah. I think when we get to this group, when we get to the
The Wednesday night?
the chord thing, the Discord.
Yeah, that's the Wednesday.
That I think that would probably make it even more interesting because then they can, instead of just chat.
Well, because we can all be on voice, so we
Right.
can all talk. Of course, we need to come up with a system, so that not everybody's talking over one another. I will talk slower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were compiling stuff pretty fast sometimes.
Well, trying to answer Roland's stuff, and I know, he wasn't being rude or anything,
Oh no.
and I liked. It did catch me off guard because it was kind of like, this isn't about science. We are talking metaphysical, spiritual.
Okay, good, Padme.
I'm glad, Padme. Again, if you guys got my email address, you gotta reach out to me so that I can get your information, to put it on the Discord and stuff.
I'll get you. I'll get you taken care of tomorrow. Just
Yeah.
remind me, okay?
Okay.
Um.
But I thought that the being able to speak in voice, in that way too, um, we can talk and discuss it roundtable style. Just got to figure out some way of, hand up kind of thing so that it's not
That's
just blurting out there and overrunning. And
that's
two, if I'm getting messages and I'm talking, thank you, Padme. I think I haven't checked my email today. I know I got text messages from, I don't remember who. Not Paula. Yeah, Rolly was visiting. It was cool.
Raising your hand. That's possibly like maybe like raise your hand, kind of almost like a classroom, so that yes, yeah, so that way they don't talk over each other.
Well, yeah, because everybody. That's okay, Crystal.
That's what I'm getting is the best bet.
Yeah, I just think for Wednesday night that would be cool, because like when you go into the rooms, then you'd be able to just um, talk the two of you and do the exercise. Um, and I've got quite a few plans for exercises to bring up some things. The key things really is understanding when we do the circle is that we all know we are in sacred space together. We're safe. Nothing's going to harm us. Our imagination, that's another story. I can't help you with that. But it's just just relax and just go for the ride and don't expect bricks to fall on you. It might be nothing more than you keep getting a tickle on the inside of your nose, and that's actually somebody in spirit saying, "This is my tail."
I had a itch on the back of my neck, and no matter how much I told it to go away, it would not go away. It was like,
Well, when
just,
you got those, acknowledge it and ask, "Are you my guide? Are you one of my spirit guides? Are you one of my guides? Are
yeah,
you one of my
I should have.
yeah?"
I thought it was normal, how I get that normal itch, just
Right.
but that one, no
Well, but
matter
I
what,
mean, it could it
not
could
going.
it could be that. But see, if you get no answer, then it's like, okay, again, is this mine? Yeah, that's my itch. Oh, dang. And then of course we whip out.
Mm-mm.
See, I got to use my selenite. Oh,
Oh,
itch.
see,
There you go.
you need to get you one of
I
these.
had one and it broke. Because I was
Oh,
really digging and I broke it.
oh, this is a good heavy duty one, I think. Oh,
Yeah, you stole mine.
yeah, I stole it from her.
Bad monkey. I had one. I don't know what happened to it. Well, I mean, I know I broke one, but I ended up getting another one. But anyway,
Anyways,
so
watching that time.
yeah, I was only going to go 2 hours, but we got sidetracked.
Not my fault this time.
No. But I'm genuinely asking you guys for your input because I was thinking about this message today, which is interesting. I ran into two very rude people at Walmart. Ugly, just ugly. And I was taken aback. And it was like, "Excuse me." And I'm like, "No." And then they piped off something like, "Well, I don't care." And I said, "Well, apparently it does bother you."
Well, they could have been just having a bad. They could have been having a bad day that day. I mean, somebody could have peed in their cornflakes or something. I mean, you don't know.
No, this was an ugly person because Angela watched her. Angela was in the other lane,
Mm-hmm.
and she went down to some other cash register. And because she got to leave before me, she's like, "Ha ha 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 ha," and it was like I didn't see her. I didn't care. So yeah, no, she was just ugly.
I'm better than you are type attitude. Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Wait till she meets Karma.
I knew
Sorry.
a woman named Karma years ago. But anyway, so yeah, so I because I want to make these streams better for you guys. I enjoy this. This this has become my passion to share knowledge with you and to help you grow and to get over whatever humps we get along the road and hiccups and all of that stuff. I can't fix the world. I am not a doctor or a psychologist. I am just somebody who has spent 50 years studying and learning. So I'm just sharing what I've learned. And I learn every day because I get up in the morning, and if I don't bug him because he's on somebody's live, then I'm already nose deep and in a meditation with Master Co or watching a lecture, because I go out and I find these academic lectures and I sit there for 2-3 hours. And then I kick myself in the butt. You're supposed to be working on that workbook. Yeah, but this is so cool.
Yeah, we end up getting pick each other's brains.
I really liked learning all. It was fascinating to find out just how much the vagus nerve affects our heart and affects our health, affects our stomach for our digestion and whatnot. It was just like, wow, it's even more pervasive than just the fact that it innervates everything. So yeah, that's been my latest kick is vagus nerve stuff. And then to find out, because it's great for people who are ADHD and also for PTSD, because it automatically resets and sets the tone, changes it, and it improves your health. So, everybody, I love you. I'm going to say good night.
All right, everybody.
Thank you for sharing space with me again. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to share space with you. Mitakoe Washin, all my relations. We are one family. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Sweet dreams. There's other things you can do, though, too, Crystal. So try the other experiments.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. Sweet dreams when you get there. Well, for at least the ones that are going to bed now. Some of us, I think, are probably during the daytime for them. But when you do get to go to bed later, you have a good night and sweet dreams.
Yeah, I didn't see Terry. He came in, and then that was the last I saw of him.
He could probably fell asleep knowing him.
He's oh yeah, because he's in the UK. Ooh.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So blessings, everybody. Sweet dreams. Reach out. Holler at me if you need me. I'll be close to home today and tomorrow. Sunday, I may actually go out and have lunch. Angela, come and pick me up.
I was fixing to say, Angela, you must be going out with Angela.
Yeah. And everybody, I want you all to know you're wonderful. And I love you with all my heart. You are such bright, brilliant stars, gorgeous souls. And it's so good to be back with you again. Because this isn't our first rodeo together. And it probably will be our last.
I have greatly enjoyed doing this and talking with y'all and learning from each and every one of y'all soul and which is great. We are learning from each other. So because we all each bring a piece in.
It's all a point of view. And the brilliant thing about points of view is you can change your mind at any time. So, on
Good
that
night.
note, night, everybody.
Hey.
We are going in 1, 2, 3.